All right, let's talk about something that's costing car buyers tens of thousands of dollars, and most of them never saw it coming. You bought an SUV. Maybe you did your research. Maybe you read the reviews. Maybe everyone in your neighborhood had one, and it looked like a smart move. And then a few years later, you tried to sell it. And the number the dealer threw at you made your stomach drop. Because that SUV you paid $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 for, it was now worth almost nothing. This is happening right now, in 2026, at a scale that should genuinely alarm anyone thinking about buying or trading in an SUV. The market has shifted. Reliability scandals have piled up. The EV transition has blindsided entire segments, and certain models, some of them household names, have collapsed in value so fast that owners are getting absolutely crushed on resale. We're talking 50, 60, even 70% of the purchase price just gone. So today, we're counting down the 15 SUVs that are losing value the fastest in 2026. Some of these will surprise you. Some of them were bestsellers just a few years ago. And once you see which SUV lands at number 1, the depreciation numbers become almost unbelievable. Let's get into it. Number 15. The Ford EcoSport. Nobody's shocked this thing made the list, but the speed of the collapse is something else entirely. Ford discontinued the EcoSport in the U.S. market, and the moment that happened, used values fell off a cliff. Buyers don't want a vehicle with no future, no new parts pipeline, no dealer incentive to push certified pre-owned, no momentum. What you're left with is a small SUV with a weak turbocharged engine, an interior that felt cheap the day it rolled off the lot, and absolutely zero demand in the used market. Owners who paid around $25,000 new are now seeing trade-in offers in the $7,000 to $9,000 range. That is not depreciation. That is a financial disaster. Number 14, the Jeep Renegade. This one stings for a lot of people because the Renegade had genuine personality. The styling was fun, the off-road marketing was convincing, and Jeep's brand loyalty runs deep. But then people actually owned these things. Transmission complaints started piling up almost immediately. Electronics glitches became a recurring nightmare. Owners were reporting repair bills in the thousands. On vehicles they'd barely put 30,000 miles on, the rugged image couldn't survive the reliability reality. In 2026, the used market for Renegades is flooded, demand is weak, and the depreciation curve looks like something fell off a table. Buyers are walking right past it. Number 13. The Mitsubishi Outlander Sport. Here's the core problem. This vehicle has been running on an aging platform for years, while every competitor around it evolved. Mitsubishi kept the Outlander Sport in the lineup long past the point where it made sense. And the market noticed. The engine feels underpowered compared to what else is available at the same price point. The interior technology lagged behind. And when buyers comparison shop, the Outlander Sport loses almost every time. The depreciation curve on these is steep, and in the used market, even low-mileage examples struggle to hold value, because buyers would simply rather spend a little more and get something that doesn't feel like it was designed in 2012. Number 12. The Chevrolet Trax, older generation. This is a case study in what happens when a product gets left behind. The old Trax had a cramped interior, it lagged badly on safety technology, and it suffered from consistently poor reviews. When the new generation launched, it essentially invalidated every older model overnight. The used market got flooded with trade-ins. Dealers slashed prices to move inventory, and owners who bought the old Trax at full price took a serious hit. We're talking vehicles that went from mid-teens in value to barely scraping into the single digits within a couple of years. The oversupply problem in the used market for this generation is real, and it's ongoing. Number 11. The Nissan Murano. This one is genuinely sad, Because the Murano was once one of the more stylish midsize SUVs on the road. It stood out. People noticed it. But styling alone doesn't hold resale value when the rest of the package starts aging out. The Murano's platform got old. Repair costs on higher mileage examples started climbing. And Nissan's overall brand perception took hits that dragged the whole lineup down with it. Once these vehicles exit the manufacturer's warranty, buyers run the numbers. They see the repair exposure, and they get scared off. The depreciation after warranty expiration is particularly brutal on these. Number 10, the Dodge journey. This might be the most extreme discontinuation story on this list. The journey was already feeling dated before it was finally put out of its misery. Outdated tech, reliability complaints, a reputation that had soured badly over time. But here's what really crushed the resale value: fleet sales. Rental companies and corporate fleets bought journeys in massive volumes, and when those units cycled out, they flooded the used market all at once, an already weakened product competing against thousands of high-mileage fleet examples at rock-bottom prices. In 2026, finding a journey with a compelling resale value is almost impossible. Some examples are trading hands for prices that barely seem real. Number 9. The Volkswagen Atlas, early model years. Now this one surprises people, because the Atlas looks the part. It's big, it's handsome, it seats 7, and VW is a brand with genuine prestige in a lot of buyers' minds. But early Atlas models came with reliability complaints that the internet never forgot. Software glitches, third-row complaints, concerns about long-term mechanical durability. VW's repair costs are not cheap, and that makes buyers cautious about out-of-warranty examples. The depreciation on early model year Atlas SUVs has been sharper than most people expected. For a vehicle at this price point, the resale math just doesn't work out. Number 8. The Jeep Cherokee. This one feels personal for a lot of people because the Cherokee badge carries so much history. But buyer perception has shifted hard. Transmission problems, specifically the 9-speed automatic, became a defining story for this model. And that reputation spread fast. Expensive repair bills, hesitation issues, a general sense among buyers that the Cherokee is a risk rather than a safe bet. The used market reflects that anxiety. Demand is soft. Prices have dropped significantly, and dealers aren't excited about taking these in trade because they know moving them requires heavy discounting. Once a model gets that kind of reputation, it follows the resale value down for years. Number 7. The Land Rover Discovery Sport. Here's where the numbers start getting genuinely painful. Land Rover sells the dream, adventure, luxury, status, the whole package. And up front, buyers pay for it. But then ownership begins. Maintenance costs on Discovery. Sports are not for the faint-hearted. Reliability issues have been well documented, and the costs to keep these vehicles running properly out of warranty can be staggering. So what happens in the used market? Buyers do the math, they see the purchase price, they research the repair history, and they walk. The depreciation curve on Discovery Sports is steep, and for owners who paid full price expecting luxury value retention, the resale reality is a brutal wake-up call. Number 6. The GMC Terrain, mid-range, mid-size, and losing value faster than almost anyone expected. The Terrain competes in one of the most crowded segments in the entire SUV market, and that competition is merciless. Engine reliability complaints hurt its reputation. And when buyers have 20 other options in the same price range with cleaner reliability records, the Terrain loses the comparison constantly. The used market is oversupplied. Pricing is soft. Dealers are aggressive with discounts just to move inventory. For a vehicle that should sit comfortably in the middle of the market, the Terrain's depreciation performance is genuinely weak. Number 5. The Ford Explorer. Certain model years. And this one is going to bother some people because the Explorer is an American icon. But icons aren't immune to problems. Specific model years of the Explorer developed serious transmission issues and generated recalls that hit the news cycle hard. High ownership costs, expensive repairs, a used market that priced in all of that risk. Buyers who bought at peak enthusiasm and tried to sell after the recalls became public knowledge took real losses. The Explorer name still carries weight, but it can only do so much when the reliability data and the recall headlines are right there for every potential buyer to find. Number 4. The Infiniti QX60. This one illustrates a very specific luxury depreciation trap. The QX60 was positioned to compete against the Acura MDX, the Lexus RX, the Audi Q7, serious premium competition. But the continuously variable transmission, the CVT, became a sore spot with owners and reviewers alike. And in the luxury segment, that kind of criticism has an outsized effect. Luxury buyers are demanding. They have other options. And when the competition is offering better drivetrains, better technology, and comparable pricing, they move on. In the used market, QX60 values have dropped hard. Buyers expecting luxury-level resale value got a very different reality. Number 3. The BMW X5, older model years. Here is where the ownership cost story becomes almost cinematic in its severity. The X5 is brilliant to drive. Nobody argues with that. The performance, the handling, the road presence, it's all there. But the maintenance costs, the repair exposure once the warranty expires. BMW ownership out of warranty is a financial commitment that a lot of buyers genuinely underestimate. And the used market knows this. Buyers who research the X5 quickly discover what they're getting into with high mileage examples. They either negotiate hard or they walk away. Depreciation on older X5 models is significant, and owners who didn't go in with eyes open have paid the price. Number 2. The Tesla Model X, early years. This one hits differently because Tesla wasn't supposed to depreciate like this. The whole narrative was that EVs held value, that the Tesla brand was bulletproof, that software updates kept these vehicles relevant. And for a while, some of that was true. But the early Model X had its problems. Falcon wing door reliability, build quality concerns. And then the bigger issue arrived. Technology moved. New Tesla models came with better range, better specs, and lower prices. And suddenly, an early Model X felt not just dated, but financially terrifying. Battery degradation concerns added another layer of anxiety for buyers. In the used market, early Model X values dropped at a speed that shocked even the skeptics. The EV depreciation trap is real, and Tesla's own pricing decisions made it worse. And at number 1, the Range Rover. This was never going to be anyone else. The Range Rover is the single most dramatic case study in luxury, SUV financial destruction, available in 2026. These vehicles sell new for 6 figures, sometimes well into 6 figures. And then the depreciation begins. We're talking about models that have lost over 70% of their original value. 70%. On a vehicle that cost $100,000 or more. The causes stack on top of each other. Extreme maintenance costs. A reliability reputation that has been battered for years. Repair bills that can run into the tens of thousands for out-of-warranty owners. And a used market where buyers know exactly what they're walking into. The Range Rover name still carries aspirational weight. But in the resale market, that weight gets crushed under the reality of ownership costs. For buyers who paid full price, The financial loss is almost incomprehensible. So here's the bottom line. SUVs dominate the roads, dominate the showrooms, dominate the marketing budgets of every major automaker on the planet. But dominant doesn't mean safe. It doesn't mean smart. And it absolutely does not mean you'll get your money back. The vehicles on this list represent real financial losses, real owners who paid real money and watched it disappear faster than they ever imagined possible. Depreciation, reliability problems, market perception shifts, discontinued models, EV disruption. These forces don't care about brand loyalty or how much you loved your vehicle when you drove it off the lot. Before you buy any SUV, run the 5-year cost analysis, research the reliability data, check the resale values of models that are a few years old right now. The information is out there, and it can save you tens of thousands of dollars. Now we want to hear from you. Which SUV on this list surprised you the most? Have you owned one of these models and lived through the depreciation yourself? Drop your story in the comments, the good, the bad, and the expensive. Hit like if this opened your eyes to something, and subscribe, because we are just getting started.